I think navigating through life without my mom is hard. That was my best friend, but her spirit was so big that like we feel her presence daily still. I'm just so grateful that I did have 40 years to have her in my life and to learn from her and to look up to her and to be loved and supported by her.
Welcome to the Latino Excellence podcast with Coach Elena Lovato, the assistant coach at the University of Texas, along with Coach Vic Schaefer. You have the University of Texas Longhorns in the women's Final Four. Congratulations, Coach.
It's a dream come true for sure, and everything's happened so fast. From being in Birmingham, Alabama, winning the regional to taking a flight home that night, getting in at 3 a.m. and then getting up, running a couple errands, and then jumping back on a flight to get here on Tuesday. So it's been a whirlwind. We've kept the girls really busy. Our staff's been busy. When we do have free time, we're on our computers watching film. So it's just surreal, but it's amazing. And we're grateful for the opportunity.
There aren't many Latinos in college basketball coaching, men or women. There aren't
Mm-hmm.
many Latinos at the Final Four. We have UCLA's Gabriela Jaques. We had Chad Baker Masada at Auburn on the men's side. What does it mean to you to be in this place? And for people who don't know, can you share your journey? One of the greatest junior college women's basketball coaches before you became an assistant coach in the D1 level. Share your journey with us if you can.
Well, it all starts in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where I was raised by two amazing Hispanic individuals, Ernesto and Francis Lovato. Growing up in our household, Latin culture, you're so close. Our family was very tight knit. My mom is one of 10, my dad is one of 5. And I just remember like being around my uncles and my aunties, my cousins, my whole life as I grew up. Going into high school, I was a softball player. I had been traveling in the summertime, playing on some really competitive teams. And I think freshman year was when I decided to pick up a basketball, and I fell in love. It was a new challenge. I was pretty good at it just naturally without any coaching, and I decided to pursue a career in it. So I chased a dream to make it to the collegiate level. I was fortunate enough to be recruited by West Texas A&M. It was a Division II school out in Canyon, Texas. They were really good for a D2 institution. So I went and played out there, and that was really hard leaving my family because we were so tight knit. But it was a great experience for me to grow. So for me, I think coaching means a lot to me because I know how much the game of basketball provided as far as a free education, a means to grow and develop into who I am today. It provided adversity and life challenges that have prepared me for life challenges. So I mean, coaching basketball to me is about the love, the passion, and the service that we get to display and help others, be blessed with these opportunities of the game. So my journey, I think it just starts with who I was raised by and who they molded me to be. And they gave me a big heart, and I work really hard. So I think my dad's integrity is second to none. My mom loved everybody she came in contact with. And my dad worked really hard to provide. So that's what I looked at every day. And that's, I guess, who I became. So this game of basketball has provided me with a career now to be a role model, to love on these young ones, to try to help them grow through adversities, and to just watch them develop and be blessed with opportunities that this game can give us. And here we are at the Final Four. I'm getting to watch my girls see the fruits of their labor. They work really, really hard, and we're so proud of them. And we're excited about the opportunity to play another game on Friday night.
When you think of starting at the bottom, moving all the way up,
Yes, sir.
junior colleges,
Yes.
you turned junior college programs around, and then you kept getting other jobs and other jobs and kept moving up. How was that journey from junior college coach at a very relatively young age for a coach, and then
Yes.
to get to Mississippi State, to get to Texas, and to be considered one of the elite recruiters in women's college basketball. Tell me about those days. If you could share at least one or two stories of the junior college days and the grind. You're talking to a former junior college soccer player, okay? So that
Yes.
the grind from junior college to big time University of Texas, one of the best programs in America.
There's nothing like junior college basketball. It's almost like starting from the bottom, like you said. You have limited resources. It's almost like you're on the struggle. You know, everybody has to come together to utilize all the resources they have to try to help you get by. I mean, you're eating post game meals at like McDonald's or Taco Bell because the budget's just different, right? And the resources. So um, my experience as a junior college coach came as at Trinity Valley. I was an assistant coach back in 2009, 2010. Um, and I did that. That was my second job. My first job was at the University of Houston. I was a third assistant for Joe Curl. Um, when this Trinity Valley opportunity came, Coach Curl gave me his blessing, and he thought it'd be a great idea because he knew that it would allow me to grow my network with Trinity Valley having such a tradition of elite athletes having played there. You got the best of both worlds. You could go recruit the most elite junior college talent in the country because they wanted to win championships and be seen at on another stage and a platform by Division I institutions. And then you had a ton of high major D1s, mid major D1s coming into your gym to see your kids play because they wanted to recruit them from you. So in a way, it was gonna help me enhance my network on both ends, high school and AAU, and then obviously the Division I coaching world. So it was a blessing for sure. That community out in Athens, Texas is amazing. They love them some Lady Cardinal basketball, and they're so supportive. So in a way, like it wasn't as much of a struggle as it could be at other junior colleges because this city and town had embraced us so well. But I was an assistant coach, and I got put into the interim head coaching role, I guess, like 11 games left. So I finished the season out as the interim head coach. We took fifth in the country. We won our regional. And at that point, I guess I was feeling myself, and I thought I should be considered for the head coaching position. With Trinity Valley having won 5 national championships at the time, they thought it was too high caliber of a job for maybe me being such a rookie in that world. So they wanted me to stay on and be an assistant coach. And I told them I wanted to try to maybe apply for other jobs and see if I could get a sniff as a head coach because I got a taste of it, and I thought I could do the job. I was fortunate enough to be hired by Grayson County Community College out in Sherman Denison, Texas. So it was like 2 hours from Athens. I drove up there, talked to the athletic director, and she hired me on the spot. They gave me a tour of the campus, and I was probably moving a couple of weeks later. It was really cool because I actually had a list of junior college recruits because I had been recruiting for Trinity Valley. So I was kind of working off that list. But I only got about 2 of those kids to come with me off of the recruiting list because they all wanted to go to Trinity Valley, right? Um, just hitting the road, looking for other kids that I could recruit. I ended up bringing 10 players in. This team had gone like 4-26 the previous season. I retained 1 girl, brought in 9 new ones, and we ended up going, I think it was like 32-4. So, and we took 5th in the country again. I think 2 of my losses were to Trinity Valley. So they were some knockdown dragouts, but it was a special year. I had 2 international kids from Nigeria who were just amazing. One of them was a first team All-American. They were both freshmen, and I was excited for year 2. I thought we were going to be even better, compete for a championship again, and they shut down our athletic program with budget cuts.
Wow.
So we had like turned the world upside down and brought Grayson County Community College back on the women's basketball scene that year, and then they shut our budget down. So I had to move around a little bit. I took a job at an assistant's position at Nebraska Omaha, and I was there for 1 year before getting called back to Trinity Valley, and that's when I was on I think that I was the head coach there for 2 years. We won two national championships. I was so blessed to have all the right pieces in place. I definitely felt like a God thing because we truly overhauled the whole program. We brought in all new players, all new coaches, and we went 36-1, won that first championship. And that's when I started to get approached by high major institutions about coming in and being a recruiting coordinator for them. That summer, um, I had a school offer me, and it was with an amazing head coach who I respected and really looked up to. The salary was probably like 3 times what I was making at Trinity Valley. And I had to pray on it for about a week. And at the end of the day, like God wanted me to stay. So I stayed in Athens, and I had 6 freshmen that year that we won, and I was able to retain them and bring in 6 new kids. And we went and made another national championship run. And then that's when Coach Schaefer came knocking and asking me to come with him to Mississippi State. And for me, I felt like I was where I was supposed to be. So it was a really hard decision. But when I really sat down and thought about it, I knew that my goal was to coach at the highest level and to win Division I national championships. Um, and if I continued to like turn down all the really good coaches that I respected, who I know have like really high integrity and do things the right way, I felt like I would run out of my opportunity for that. I would have probably had to take a job that I wasn't going to be as locked in on or as aligned with. So for me, having Coach Schaefer and his staff come recruit me out of the university or out of Trinity Valley, it was kind of a no-brainer. I knew I was going to grow and be mentored by him and Johnny Harris. Aqua Franklin, who's at Lamar right now, was an amazing head coach. Was a great mentor. So I was going on to a staff that was like star-studded, and I knew I was going to learn and grow. So it was one of those things where I had to pray on it again, and it was just something about the opportunity that said that it was time. So that's when I jumped on board with Coach Schaefer, and it was a true blessing. Obviously, here we are about 10 years later, and we're playing for a national championship. So very blessed indeed.
You mentioned your parents.
Yes, sir.
Recruiting is about building relationships. It's about building trust. It's about
100%.
people buying into your vision. When you see yourself in the mirror, what parts of your mom and dad do you see in Elena Lovato, the recruiter, the basketball coach, the person?
Well, I know from my dad, like I said, his integrity is second to none. So he's always taught us that our word is all we have in this life. So we are about being very like impeccable with our word, me and my brothers, like if we say something, we're going to do it. And I think that helps because it helps you grow trust, right, with people. My mom she just loved, like she was God. Like she loved everybody and anybody she came in contact with, and she gave the biggest and best hugs. So from my mom, I believe like her heart, she gave me compassion, empathy, love, the ability to just develop relationships and make people feel loved. And then like my dad, worker bee, like this man at 76 right now, like he's just a warrior. I call him my real life Superman. He worked as hard as he could at everything. He could do it all. He was a mechanic. He could paint cars. He could do like construction work. Like he could do anything and everything. So like just kind of being a jack of all trades and working hard. I think I get that from him. Um, so I think with those 3 things, I think it kind of made me who I am. And then just falling in love with basketball. Obviously, passion's a big thing. So being passionate about things like watching these girls develop and empowering them and working hard, like it's just made me to be a great recruiter and I think an awesome loyal assistant to Coach Schaefer. And I think that's why he keeps me around, and when I leave him, he brings me back. And so I've left him twice, and he's always been kind enough to have me back. And I
If
lost my mom 5 years ago, so that was really hard, on on our family and on me, and I know that's why I'm with Coach Schaefer and the staff, because it is more than just superficial relationships. Like, this is a family. I know he cares about me, and if I ever need to go take care of a family issue, like, he's all for it because he knows family comes first. So I'm just in alignment with him in a lot of things, and that's why it's easy to work for him and with him.
If you
Okay.
could tell somebody you were a top basketball coach, what would you tell people about yourself?
I'm a family girl. I'd probably just have a lot of conversation about my mom and my dad, and then my brothers, and of course my nieces and nephews. I'm a proud auntie of 8, and now we have a little. My brother has a grandbaby, so we have 9 of them. And I think I'm the world's best auntie.
What has been the biggest test for you in your life?
I think navigating through life without my mom, it's at 5 years, it's still, is hard. That was my best friend. She knew everything and helped me get through everything. And, the Latin culture, like, the mamas they do everything. They don't just love, they like take care of and clean up after. And I think just not having her, like, it's been really hard on me and my brothers and my dad. And but her spirit was so big that, like, we feel her presence daily still. And um, I'm just so grateful that I did have 40 years, to have her in my life, and to learn from her, and to look up to her, and to be loved and supported by her. So that's probably my biggest challenge, is just navigating life without my mom.
What does it mean for you to be a Latina and to be Francis Lovato's daughter?
It means the world to me. I do. I mean, I cherish it. I wake up every morning, and I obviously give God the glory for waking me up, and I'm grateful, um, that He does give me another day of life to shed His light on this team, on my brothers, on my nieces and nephews. Um, but I also, I feel the responsibility to shed her light on people too. So just making sure that I am building great relationships with people, and showing them love, so that you never know what someone's going through. So I just want to make sure that they don't care how much I know, until I know they know how much I care. So just making sure that I'm sharing my heart with them and being authentic with them.
Uh, what advice would you give young athletes?
Work hard. It's a lost art nowadays. Like, sometimes skill set doesn't matter if you're wanting to play your guts out. I know that goes a long way for us in our program, Coach Schaefer, and how he coaches. Um, People are going to make mistakes. Just keep going and just work your butt off, because you can start at the bottom, but I'm telling you, if you stick to it and you create habits for yourself, like, you could climb to the top really fast.
And it might be the same answer. What advice would you give Latinas who aspire to coach basketball?
Oh, I think we're in the perfect time right now, where I believe that there's a group of us now, in and in coaching, um, in even young athletes. I think it's the time is right now. We could take over this thing if we really wanted to. So I don't think you wear the don't let anyone hold you back. Like, just work hard, chase your dreams. Don't let our ethnicity hold us back, because this is the time. I think it's a perfect time to be a Latin American in the United States, competing and playing and being part of women's sports, because women's sports, is growing so fast. It's becoming really popular, and um, I think we have a lot of amazing people, in our culture. And I think our heart and our drive, our culture, like, the support that we have and we give each other, I just think that it's about to blow up. And so don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything, because you can do anything you want to do.
That is beautiful. I have a theme that we're carrying out throughout the year, and I asked it to Chad Baker Massara of Auburn, Gabriela Jaques of UCLA, Congressman Joaquin Castro of San Antonio, and it is answer this question. Latinos should know that it's okay. Meaning, for instance, I always say Latinos should know that it's okay to ask for help. And I also, with my kids, I'm a dad of 3 girls, and I say Latinos should know that it's okay to embrace your greatness. And and that motto has pushed my oldest to Rice, my middle one to Yale, and I tell them, like, embrace your greatness. If you
Yes.
could complete this sentence, Latinos should know it's okay. How would you start that sentence, and how would Coach Lovato end that sentence? If you give me that full sentence, Latinos should know.
Latinos should know that we are powerful. There's strength in numbers, and it's okay to be great. It's okay to lead in this country.
Is there something that I failed to ask you that you think people should know that you would like to say?
No, but it would be nice if I could get some prayers up for my dad. He's fighting cancer right now, and he's going through a stem cell transplant. He's made it through all the chemo, and they just gave him back his white blood cells yesterday, as a matter of fact. So he's got a couple of tough months ahead, just getting his body back used to it. But just pray that we got it this time, and that we're gonna have a tremendous few years ahead of us for him to just enjoy his golden years.
Well, I'll include your dad in your prayers, and that reminds me that it's something that I forgot to mention. You are one of my favorite follows on
Oh,
Twitter because of your faith and your daily affirmation post. Thank you so much for being an example of Latino excellence, and go out I told the same thing to Gabriela Jaques. But go out and go win a national championship.
maybe we can play each other.
That'd be great. Thank you very much. You've been listening to the Latino Excellence Podcast with Coach Elena Lovato with the University of Texas at the Final Four, live from Tampa. I really appreciate your time, Coach. Thank you
Yes.
very much.